Thank you, President Hayashi. Now, I'd like to pass the baton to Mr. Morita, a well-known member of Toyota Times and Toyota Times Athlete Now, as he talks to the athletes about their thoughts on the arena. And we would like to go on with the Q&A session. Thank you. I am Kyonosuke Morita, and I would like to be the facilitator for the question and answer session and program after that. We will receive questions from the floor and then also receive questions from those participating online. If you have a question, please raise your hand and the staff will bring a microphone to you. When you ask your question, please state your name, also your affiliation, and who your question is for. We would like to allow as much people to ask questions as possible. Therefore, please keep your questions to one. Thank you for your cooperation. Anyone with questions? Then the second row person from the right-hand side and in the white shirt, please. I am Kume from TV Asahi. For Alvark Tokyo, President Hayashi, I have a question. This new arena, I think there will be an impact to Alvark and the basketball and sports world. What kind of impact do you think will occur? Thank you for your question. As a sports club, we have had a strong desire for a home arena for our athletes and also for our customers. This arena will be a great dream home arena. And when you have, I think you have seen Okinawa arena last year, and I think were very excited. That was an arena that showed how much the basketball world has developed. And now in Tokyo City, we want to catch up to Okinawa arena and even go over them so that we can provide excitement to the athletes and also to the fans of the sports. By having various activities centering around the arena, there will be a lot of people coming together, and also that will vitalize the local community. And with a vitalized local community, many things will develop from there, such as businesses and all types of activities. That is what we are envisioning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let us move on to the second question. I see a hand in the second row. Thank you. I am Ishii from Nippon TV. Thank you for this opportunity. I have two questions. Number one, to Hayakawa-san, first of all. As you explained in your presentation, Toyota is related with sports. Toyota wants to support sports and athletes, and I would like to learn why. And what is your motivation in bringing out this arena project? Thank you for your question. First of all, about Toyota and sports. As I have alluded to in my presentation, for a long time, since the foundation of the company, we were closely associated with sports because we have been encouraged by sports and athletes contributing to the business at workplace as well. Well, unity at the workplace certainly can be largely helped by having athletes. And sports have played important roles for us to forge ties with various stakeholders. I'm repeating myself, but there is a power in sports. Sports encourages you, gives you power. So outside of your workplace, even outside of your workplace, when you're somehow disappointed and discouraged, you see your colleagues as athletes working so hard. It is impossible not to get encouraged. Well, certainly, this is not something that can be conveyed only with words, but certainly, sports can be extremely powerful. To sports and to athletes, Toyota wants to pay back because we owe them. We owe them a lot. So, many of us support sports and athletes, and we support them in different ways. Even top athletes have to consider their second career at one point in time. They may not have sufficient opportunities after they decide to retire from competition. So that's one way of contributing to them. And there are also other ways Toyota may be able to support them. As Hayashi-san mentioned earlier, we can leverage this arena so that we can encourage young people who may want to become athletes in the future. And of course, athletes and sports can encourage the elderly population of this country as well. So you can support them, you can watch and enjoy sports, and you can do all sorts of different things at this particular place, arena. So that's what this A Arena project wants to realize. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Hayashi-san of Alvark. In the pamphlet, Toyota mobilities are mentioned in various ways they are to be leveraged. Now, the next generation arena can leverage Toyota mobility technologies, including autonomous driving. So what sort of a vision and examples you can share with us today about the use of Toyota mobility technologies? Thank you for your question. Earlier in my presentation, I alluded to that too. The next generation is something that we will be thinking about them in the future. But of course, you can come to the arena and you can leave the arena. And during that time, there should be some fun element in addition to the pure mobility aspect to it. I don't know whether that will be autonomous driving, but there should be some ways of entertaining the passengers of the mobility services, and that's one example of what we are thinking currently. Now, not only outdoors, but indoors. The shops and stores can be changed in a flexible way so that the second time you come here, you find totally different layouts. Usually, you would expect that to take lots of efforts to change those stores, but we may come up with ideas of doing that easier. So, mobility can mean all sorts of different things and can do all sorts of different things, but first and foremost, mobility has to be fun, and that's the starting point for us. Thank you for your question.
Thank you. We'd like to go on to the next person, maybe someone in the back. The person in the back row. Second person from the back. Yes, that person, please. Thank you. I am Noguchi from NHK. I don't know who I should ask this question to, but I think I will ask Mr. Hayakawa of Toyota. MegaWeb was what we have here before, and that had the function of a showroom to exhibit cars, to have the presentations, to have reveals of new cars. I think that was an important function of Toyota. So with this new facility, will it be succeeded? That function will be succeeded? Can you explain your current plan? Thank you for your question. Well, currently, we are discussing that. The function of the MegaWeb, actually, there were a lot of functions that it held. For example, we had presentation events, and we were able to exhibit most of the cars in our lineup. And also, it had the function for test driving. Those that I just explained would be some of the main functions that the MegaWeb bared. One thing that we would probably not be able to do that in the arena is the test driving inside of the arena site. If it is the new model presentation event or a new way to exhibit cars, maybe that is possible. When we think of also the exhibition of the experiments of a new type of mobility, those things might be possible. So that is what we will be considering and hope to achieve. We also want to work together with the people in the local community to create a new city. So then transportation to and from the arena and in the peripheral area is something that we want to think about. But these things will require discussions with the related people. And also, we need to understand what the regulations are regarding transportation, mobility, and also the state of our technology. So depending on those factors, our plan may change, but we want to create a new city with the local community related people, and mobility can take on a big role. So as much as possible, for what we had achieved in MegaWeb, we would like to include that in the arena functions as well to make it possible to do that. But we also are looking at an unprecedented facility to be able to connect various functions to the arena. So that will be my answer. Thank you.
続いてまいりましょうか。
Thank you. Now in the second row, I see a hand with a magazine. My name is Sushiro. I'm from Indonesia. Hayakawa-san, I have a question for you. Within this press release, we pose of Mr. Toyoda. Is it an official pose or is it something President Toyoda likes? I think it's cool. I wonder whether that's an official pose of Toyota. Well, this is probably better to ask Hayashi-san to respond to that question. This is Hayashi from Alvark Tokyo. Thank you very much for noticing this. So, this hand sign with 3 fingers. Well, actually, back in 2016, the first season, we decided to have a we season. We means we, like you would mean we in English. So we wanted to demonstrate the unity amongst ourselves. This unity and solidarity. Often you would use a term family to mean that, but family is all about family, which could be exclusive only to a set of relatives. But we wanted to be our unity to be wider. A solidarity of people with similar vision is described as we. Usually, when you shoot a photo, you would probably do this. But Alvark stakeholders do this, meaning W. And this is what we call we pose. Well, if you come to the arena in the future, this is something you see a lot at Alvark. So I hope you will remember that. I thank you for your question. Thank you, Hayashi-san. So this is not Toyota's slogan, or this is not the official pose of Toyota, but this belongs to Alvark. In the future, I don't know what will happen to it, though. Thank you for your question. Thank you.
それではこの
Thank you. And from here, I would like to take questions from those participating online. If you have a question, please press the hands up button on your screen, and we will call on your name. And when your name is called, please put your microphone and video on. Yamamoto-san from Yomiuri Shimbun, please. We'll be switching the screen. A moment, please. Yamamoto-san, can you hear me? Yes, and I hear you. Please go ahead. I'm Yamamoto from Yomiuri Shimbun. Thank you for this opportunity. My first question is to Mr. Hayakawa. In this new arena, new facility, you are talking about creating new spectator experiences with new mobility technologies. And it might be too early, but for new spectator experience achieving technology, are you thinking about utilizing those into a new and creating a new business out of it? Thank you for your question. Well, our discussion and consideration haven't developed that far yet. For the areas of technology, this will be changing quite rapidly, and there is still 3 more years until the arena will be planned to be opened. And I think there are going to be new technologies being proposed and new ideas being created in the meantime. And we do not expect to provide all of the technologies from Toyota. We are looking for companies with new ideas and technology, or organizations that have advices, proposals. We want to work with these partners and consider what we can do. And we had in Woven City project in the Susono City in Shizuoka. And similar to that project, we are thinking of this location also to continue experiments. This arena will be in the center of Tokyo, but we are not focused on what we know of now, but we have an expectation of what we don't know and what will happen in the future. Even if the project starts, there's a possibility that new ideas and new proposals will continuously be coming in, and we want to be focusing on those and be utilizing those ideas. Thank you for your answer. And my second question is to Yamamura-san. So you talked about the family park and the sports park, the 2 outdoor parks. What is your image on how those parks will be used? Thank you for your question. Well, currently, we don't have a clear fixed plan yet. So right now, the naming is family and sports park each. But for the sports park side, the image is having a basketball court size area. And when you watch a basketball game, then you might be so excited and want to play basketball yourself. So that it can be used as a basketball court and also as maybe a sacred place to enjoy a sports event. But anyway, it will be a on the rooftop outside area. So there will be various ways to utilize this. And from here, we will be having discussions with Alvark Tokyo, and probably President Hayashi has more ideas to use this space. Thank you for asking me as well. Well, one of the characteristics of this A arena will be the family park and the sports park that you have pointed out. And when you generally think about arenas, there's just the main arena building, and you'll be using the arena building or the sub arena if the arena has, and it will be mostly it. But what we are envisioning is, even though if it's not about the building itself of the arena and sub arena, we want to create more opportunities outside and at many locations to utilize the space, and not to have a formal setting in thinking of using the space, but we want to have a diverse, a place that has diverse opportunities. It's not going to be a place that you have to register beforehand, before visiting to use it, but we want it to be a more casual place for the local community people to come in and use it as they wish. Or sometimes there might be a big event held there. I think you can think of various ideas, and there will be a lot of possibilities for this space. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask someone joining us online to ask another question. Use raise the hand button to indicate that you have a question, and turn your camera on. From Nikkei, Suga-san, please. Please turn on your video and mic. Please allow us a moment until we switch over. This is Suga from Nikkei. Am I being heard? Loud and clear. One confirmation, first of all, about this A Arena project. So you've announced the concept of it, and this is going to be a project which will continue to be developed for details going forward. Is that this positioning of this announcement? Well, we announced the concept, and during the presentations, we talked about what A stands for. So, first of all, the name of the project has that A there, our ambition for A. And exploring the potential is at the core of this project, discovering the possibilities and potentials. It's not only three of us who are in front of you today, but I hope the name of this project will resonate with lots of others. So, what A stands for and what we strive in discovering potentials would be represented by the project name. So, the detailed design will be worked on going forward, including finding partners and so forth. That's right. At this point in time, we are still in the process of laying a master plan. It'll take some time before we do a groundbreaking. And during that time, we would like to find partners. Thank you. The second question is about your expectations, that is, leveraging mobility. You still do not know what will be built next to your site. So, including those areas with unknown future, what sort of expectations do you have in leveraging the mobility technologies? Hayashi-san, would you like to address that question? Well, we are the operator of the arena, and Alvark Tokyo will be the main user because it's going to be the home court. Now, Community Building Council is a part of the thinking. That is, since we have advanced ourselves in various locations and we learned a lot in each of those locations together with our partners with different roles to be played, everyone has a vision for the future when it comes to community building. And we are using the A arena as a sort of a stepping stone to solidify relationship with those stakeholders so that we can be a better partner in reinvigorating the society here at Ariake and Aomi. I hope this will become a place, a town, which is a magnet for many people to visit. It can be sports, it can be arena, that can be a hub for many people to decide to come and enjoy themselves. Thank you very much. Thank you for your question.
では、会場からの質問に
Now, question from the floor. Again, can you raise your hand if you have a question?
それでは、一番前の列の
The person in the very front row, second seat from the right-hand side, please.
お時間が迫ってまいりましたので、
And this will be our last question to take since our time is coming to an end. I'm from Asahi Shimbun. My name is Matsumoto. I have a question to President Hayashi. For Alvark Tokyo, from the starting of this, your activities, you have been basing in Tachikawa. And so there is a relationship built with fans based in Tachikawa, and maybe a culture developed there too. But from fall, your base will become to Yoyogi, move to Yoyogi, and then move to Aomi. So this will be quite of a moving for the team. But the relationship with the fans that you have been building, and also for the culture that you have developed, what is your future vision of how it will be turning out? Well, for our opening season, we are using the second Yoyogi gymnasium. And after that, because of the Olympic and Paralympics, we have been using the Tachihide Arena in Tachikawa City for the 5 seasons. And Alvark Tokyo is the official name of the club. And therefore, we are basing our activities in Tokyo. Tachikawa, Fuchu City, and Shibuya Ward, Bunkyo Ward. These 4 regions, we have a agreement that we have signed, and also there has been various events and activities held here. In other words, these are regions that we have a strong connection with. And for Tachikawa City, we will having discussions with the people working in Tachikawa City, the city office members, and from this fall, and also for the other regions and in Tachikawa City from the local community residents, we have received a lot of requests to continue to hold games in Tachikawa City, and we are very happy to receive those positive feedbacks. And for this season, next season, there's going to be 5 games held there, and in the B League agreement, the conditions, 80% of the games have to be held in the home arena, but 20% can be held in other locations. So for the remaining, for this 20% where we will have discretion, we want to will consider to select Tachikawa City as to hold the games. So we hope that the residents in Tachikawa City will continue to support Alvark Tokyo. And even if the home game is not held in there, we still will continue to enhance our activities inside of Tokyo. basketball, and not just basketball, but sports overall. We want to be able to communicate the great aspects of sports and also be able to create an opportunity to develop this momentum for sports. And I think that so this will not be just for a limited city partnership, but we want to be working with Tokyo as a base and for sports overall. Thank you very much. And since our time has come, we would like to end our question and answer session here. Thank you very much for all of the questions. And for Mr. Hayakawa, Mr. Yamamura, and Mr. Hayashi, thank you very much for answering the questions.
さて、この後はですね、新アリーナの主役でもありますアスリートの皆さんをお呼びしてですね、
Now, I would like
セッ
to
ションを行います。
call upon athletes to have a talk session. And athletes certainly will be at the center of this arena project.
それではトークセッションを
Thank you for your patience. Now let's start the talk session
スポーツを代表する
representing Toyota's sports. We have 4 athletes.
アスリートの皆さん、どうぞステージまでお越しください。
Please come up to the stage.
まずは
First of all,
自動車ビーチバレーボール部ゼネラルマネージャー
TMC Beach Volleyball General Manager, Mr. Shunichi Kawai.
出場現在
He's a two-time Olympian in male volleyball. He also serves as the chairman of Volleyball Association. He has a lot to offer out of his experience in volleyball. Thank you very much. Now, from TMC, para sprinter, Mr. Keita Sato. He's a bronze medalist at Rio de Janeiro Paralympics. Today, he's wearing his blade for competition. He's a sprinter looking to participate in Paris Olympics. From Antelopes support coach, Ms. Naho Miyoshi. She won the silver medal in Tokyo Olympics in basket. She's no longer competitive, but she is in a position to continue to coach the younger athletes. And last but not least, from Alvark Tokyo, Mr. Daiki Tanaka. Now at the center of this new arena, he will be using this arena a lot. And I would like to learn what Mr. Tanaka wants to see in this arena. They are all still quiet, but things will get exciting. Now from Alvark Tokyo, President Hayashi will also join. And he's here to listen to the wishes of the athletes that he's going to hear in about a couple of minutes. Thank you. Now, let us begin. First of all, Tanaka-san, let me start with you. This Tokyo Arena is going to be the home court for Alvark Tokyo, for which you play. What do you think after hearing that announcement? I'm excited, extremely excited. I cannot wait to have a game in here. So as an athlete, the enthusiasm that you feel at your home court is something very special. Of course it is. I represented Japan, Team Japan, and I played in many large arenas surrounded by enthusiastic fans. And such enthusiasm means something extremely special for the athletes. Right, so you really can't wait to play here. Miyoshi-san, so you were in Tokyo Olympics, which did not have spectators. But then in front of your fans, you won the second championship in W League. You have lots of experience of playing in front of large number of spectators. What is your expectations of this arena? Athletes and fans, they all have something to wish for, and I'm sure this is going to realize all of that. In W League, we played in front of 7,000 spectators, and all of them really give us power, the feeling that we are all competing together with the fans. So that's what I have experienced. Now, this arena holds 10,000 instead of 7,000. I'm sure the athletes who would play here will be extremely happy. Women's basketball attracted much attention at Tokyo Olympics. You are now a coach. Do you feel the joy of the athletes being watched by fans? Of course, when you play, you really want your fans and spectators to watch you. So that will give the great joy to the athletes. So you really like to see so many people in this arena, right? Exactly. So I asked questions of two basketball players. Let's talk about a different sport. Kawai-san, you are the chairman of the Japan Volleyball Association. Now, do you have any expectations and wishes that you would like to file today with Hayashi-san from volleyball community? Well, there are many arenas in Japan, but the capacity of 10,000 is rare. I can think of only a couple. And holding world championships, for example, in volleyball, you really have to reserve the arena a couple of years earlier because you have to reserve the site for a full 1 month. So adding this large arena with lots of high-techs would mean a lot to us. Actually, last year, as representative of Toyota, I visited the Volleyball Association to promote the use of this new arena Toyota is building. But this year, I ended up assuming the chairmanship of the Volleyball Association. Since I filed that request last year with the association, well, I guess as the chairman of the association, now I will have to respond to that request. And we also had lots of asks, like having high ceilings and so forth.
It seems that the negotiation always went well. Well, actually, I made the request myself, and then I'm going to be the main user myself. So it's kind of a strange situation. Well, now we've heard a lot of expectation from the basketball community and the volleyball community. So, President Hayashi, what do you think of these requests? How can you respond? Well, Chairman Kawai has made that request, so we'll have to receive and try to respond to that request. That's all we can do. Well, it is the home arena for Alvark Tokyo, but as I have explained in the presentation, we are thinking of and want to have various people to utilize this facility. And if it is used in a diverse way, the people who come and visit and use the facility will be more diverse too. Volleyball supporters and basketball supporters will probably be very different. So if there are different people, a group of people coming in and be able to enjoy various sports, that will be exactly the mission of this arena. And that will be the mission of me as president of Alvark Tokyo. So I hope that you will utilize this place. Well, a little while ago, I did a game at a very different arena, but it's very different. The show up for usual arena is different, and I was hoping that there will be more arenas like that. Then there will be a lot of sports teams that want to use that. And if you have a home arena for a basketball club, the way that the energy is created or the excitement is created is very different to a non-home arena. Kawai-san, you're not just doing the indoor volleyball competition, but also related to the beach volleyball activities too. Can I talk? Is it okay to bring in sand? Well, 11 tons, okay, so we can use a big car, a truck can carry in 11 tons of sand. Well, sometimes we use in the beach volleyball games inside of the gymnasiums, and if you're out at the beach, you don't hear so much the sound of the balls going back and forth, but if it's indoors, you hear it more and it's more exciting. Well, as long as you clean up the sand together, then it's fine to use this place. Understood. Well, in Kinuura plant, there is an indoor beach volleyball court created, right? So there's, yes, we have a very nice beach volleyball court inside of the plant building. And right now, sand can be created, is brought in inside of the building, and we have games inside buildings nowadays. A lot of more possibilities then. Now going to the slogan of this A Arena project, it's about taking the challenge together. So now let's focus on this key word of the possibilities, looking into possibilities. So I have a question to the para athlete, to Keita Sato. I think when we talk about the para athletes, the word of possibilities come up to our mind. So can you talk a little bit about possibilities? Well, yes. So when I take on these challenges, I always work with this prosthetic legs. And before, it used to be made of wood, and it was first of all developed to allow us to walk. But with the development of technology, we have this kind of new type of prosthetics legs, and I am able to use it to as a sprinter. So this is thanks to the advancement of technology. So in A Arena, my expectation is that the advancement of technology can be multiplied with sports to create more new possibilities in this area too. I see. I think because you have a first-hand experience, it really makes a lot of sense. And this new arena, it seems that you're thinking about various types of mobility to have good access for all. So Sato-san, I have a question to you. So for para-athletes, is it important to have good access to the arena? Yes, it is very important. For myself, since I use prosthetic legs, it's not that difficult, but depending on the level of disability, some of the para-athletes require a lot of energy to just arrive at the venue. So if those people with a severe level of disability want to participate or come as a spectator to the sports venue, if mobility technology is used and can reduce the energy that is required for mobility, I think that will be very important. I see. So the access itself, if that energy can be not used for transportation but used for sports, then that will open a lot of more possibilities. Yes, for me, if I just walk and get tired, then it will be difficult to do strong efforts in making efforts to practice and training. So if I can keep that energy and use it for sports rather than walking or transportation, I think it will be very important. I see this very strong connection between mobility and sports.
結構佐藤さんは
Sato-san, when it comes to prosthetics, I understand you offer some classes of offering experience of prosthetics. Right. Actually, even those people with 2 legs, there are kits to experience how it is to wear prosthetics. It's for adults and it's for kids. So, technologies and prosthetics are ready. If you lose your leg, you can start running at once. And I hope I can offer such classes at A Arena as well. Miyoshi-san, my next question for you, once again, is about the potential and possibilities going forward. What sort of potential would you like to explore going forward? Well, I competed for a long time as an athlete, and I was encouraged by so many fans and spectators and coaches and everyone else. And there is a big payback that I feel obliged to. Actually, since there are so many people here, I would like to ask two things of Hayashi-san. Is it okay? Great, thank you. Number one, for children at A Arena, I would like to offer some basketball academy type of classes for kids. What do you think? Well, actually, exactly my idea, because athletes teaching that sports or offering that experience to the general public is something that I envision at A Arena. Well, if you actually do that, call me. Of course, you're the first one I would call. Thank you. The second ask is, since this is the Alvark home court, there will be men's basketball games. When you do so, I would like to also have an opportunity for women's basketball team Antelope to play. Actually, that is my ask. I would love to see the men's and women's basketball games to take place either on the same day or some different opportunities. I would like to enhance the opportunities to use A Arena. It is wonderful to have the country's #1 team to play in this arena, and that really is something that I would like to ask you to help me. Great, thank you. My mission is completed. But don't doze off though. Now, Miyoshi-san and Sato-san talked about offering experience to kids about the sports and about prosthetics. Now, Tanaka-san, are you also interested in having this arena to offer such experience to kids? Of course, this arena will have practice court, clubhouse for Alvark. And as Coach Miyoshi mentioned, it'll be wonderful to offer some basketball academy to kids. If we are close by when that happens, we would be most willing to help, because that kind of an environment will allow a very close contact with kids. Right, for kids, that will be a wonderful experience to have close contacts with professional athletes. Of course. Thank you. So, this arena can be used for other purposes than sports. Mr. Hayashi, so academy and other way of using arena, what sort of other ideas do you have? Well, once again, this is something we will be planning going forward. But one area you can consider is the business use. You're here in this Aomi district. You have a view of the ocean. It's a wonderful environment to expand your imagination about your business. We will have a lounge or lounges or suite room for VIPs. So even there is no business events ongoing, the arena will offer facilities for businesses. Under COVID-19, we have seen a decline in the number of athletic meets or exhibitions. You may consider conference halls or exhibition halls as the venue, but as Kawai-san mentioned, when it comes to lighting and acoustics, compared to those halls, this arena will have something extraordinary. So, business presentations So you can use this facility also at some MICE or some conferences.
そうですね。
It will be a very luxurious athletics meet if that happens here in this arena. Well, I think that in the past 3 years, everyone had to endure and so much, and I think everyone has gained that privilege to have a luxurious events. And I hope, well, my hope is that it can be a place where people can have enjoyment and fun. Oh, thank you. And Kawai-san, we talked about what we've happened up to now and our future expectations. And you have experience as an athlete and also as manager, and you have a lot of experience in the challenging your own potential. So can you talk a little bit about your experience in challenging your own potential? Well, the challenge of my own potential was beach volleyball. Well, I went to Santa Monica Beach while I was still a volleyball player, and for the first time I saw the beach volleyball, and I jumped in and tried it, and it was really fun. And I thought that this will definitely be popular in Japan because it's so fun to play, and so that's why I went on TVs and talked about the beach volleyball. But first, it was just a small number of people playing it. But now, little by little, it expanded, and it's going to become a Olympic sports event. And several years ago, it became a national sports event discipline. And so I've seen the beach volleyball develop as a sport so much. And right now, it has become so popular, probably the first or second popular among all of the Olympic sports games. And now, next for the Paris Olympics, it's probably going to be the most popular. In past, it was no one really knew about it, and now it's everyone knows about it, and it's actually the most popular in Olympic sports. And I was talking about beach volleyball, and then in 2014, Toyota thought it was interesting and decided to create a beach volleyball team, and I was called in. So in that sense, looking back, one thing that I thought might be interesting and put a lot of work on it has developed this far, and there's probably going to be an even brighter future. So I see myself in the middle of having a successful experience of challenging my own potential. So I hope that the potential of sports can be expanded further by this A Arena. I hope that will be the role that the A Arena can play. I see that you have really lived the life of taking on the challenge of your own potential. Well, and listening to all of you today, I can't help imagining what will happen and if everyone has started to take their own challenge, what kind of possibilities we can open. Well, now coming back to Tanaka-san, so your team is going to be using this arena as your home arena. So what kind of arena is this going to be when you think of challenging your own potential? Can you passionately talk about your expectations? Well, for our team, Alvark Tokyo, it has a long tradition and history. Even before we started to participate in the B League, many of our predecessors, many of our seniors have been playing in this team. And we want, now that we're going to have a home arena, our aim and target is going to become a main representative team in Japan. So for the A Arena, we want to think about connecting the baton to the next generation, to the children today. And when we meet them, when we talk to them, I hope that, and if we show how we play in our games, I hope they would want to also become a basketball player. I want them to envision and aspire to play in the A Arena. So I want to become a role model for them so that they can dream on, and so that the potential will be passed on to the next and further generations. Thank you very much for your passionate words. to the athletes, when we hear from them, from the word, their thoughts about this potential, I think it was very interesting. And so, President Hayashi, what did you think? Wasn't it very interesting? Well, hearing what Tanaka-san just said, probably well, this was something that I wanted to say as well. I think it's very important to pass on the baton to the next generation. So when the children come to the arena, see the games, take part in sports activities, that will become a dream from them. And we shouldn't be standing in their way. We should create an opportunity that will create that moment for them and to be able to continue on. So I hope I hope that we can make efforts to continue this effort, to continue the activity, not just for basketball, for the various sports activities, and also open up the potential for other areas like the business world too. So I hope everyone will look forward to 3 years in the future when we are planning to open our arena. Thank you very much. I don't want to end now, but unfortunately, our time is coming to a close. So finally, from the athletes, can we receive a word from each, reflecting on today's event?
So in response to the announcement today, I am sure your fans would be expecting a lot of this. So any messages to them? Kawai-san. Thank you. Since last year, I've been watching the plan of this facility, and I really thought that this is going to be something extraordinary. This can be home to many sports, and I hope many athletes will be able to play here. And I'm sure their expectations rising. Thank you. Sato-san? Thank you. It's not only Toyota, but also the community. It's also the entire country of Japan who will be building this arena and who will be using and enjoying this arena. So let's build an arena full of hopes. Coach Miyoshi? Thank you. There is such a great potential, lots of possibilities in this arena. So please look forward to seeing it in 3 years. Thank you. Tanaka-san? This arena is extremely attractive. We still have to wait for 3 years. But as a club, as an individual player, for the next 3 years, we would like to continue to evolve and develop ourselves. Starting end of September, Alvark Tokyo will jump into the next season. I hope you will continue cheering us on. I really look forward to seeing the completion of this arena, and that has added to my motivation today. Thank you very much. Today we invited 4 athletes full of hopes for this new arena to be built. Discovering the potential, exploring the potential is the motto of this arena, which would enable everyone to explore the way of expanding everybody's potential. Dear athletes, Hayashi-san, thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you very much indeed.